Tip-off for the 2024-2025 NBA season is literally, guys, hours away. We are excited here on the Flex Zone podcast, the only place to give you your NBA coverage how you want it when you need it. I'm going to break down each conference, the Eastern Conference, which we're starting with right now, the Western Conference, give you teams that could rise, teams that could fall, under the radar teams, some players to keep an eye on. Maybe a team that could underachieve, maybe miss the playoffs entirely. We got some injuries. Players who aren't ready to start the season. Should they retire? Can the Celtics go back to back? I'm going to break it all down for you, give you each team, all 10 of them in each conference that'll make the playoffs and play in. And what I'm looking forward to seeing. Make sure you sound off in the comment section below. Let me know your prediction and projections for the NBA season. What are you looking for the most this season? And sound off below. We want to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Slam that subscribe button. Go ahead and cross over, hit that like button, pull up for 3 and knock that bell down. And let me know how you're feeling with the season coming up, as ball is life. In the midst of football, the World Series, college football, we have NBA basketball back again, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, oh boy, does it feel so good. And the Boston Celtics, who are the reigning defending NBA champions, look to go back to back. We pretty much know, if we're looking at the East, where we're going to start today, and we'll look at the standings from last year. I'll break down each team, kind of give you a quick overview, what I like, what I don't like. I think the key here, when we look at the East, Boston is going to be the number 1 seed. They won 64 games last year. No, I don't have them winning 60-plus games. I have them at maybe around a 55 to 58 win total, but I do have them as the number 1 seed. I think Tatum and Brown are only going to get better. The chemistry is only going to improve. Joe Mazzulla's a hell of a coach. They'll get Porzingis back. They have an extra roster spot to add another piece if needed. They have the artillery, the just overall resources and capital to make a move if need be during the season as well around the trade deadline. So I think Boston is poised to get back to the NBA Finals at least. And no, I don't see them going 64-18, but Derek White is still there. They got a really good team. Drew Holiday, we know the impact those two guys were the difference in them winning the championship. I can see them at 55 to 58 wins, and I can see them winning the conference again. I mean, they won it by 14 games last year. I think they go under their win total. They don't get 60, but they get 55 to 58. I think the Knicks, who were second, remain second, 50 and 32. We know they got Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson. They got rid of DiVincenzo and Randall, but you still have them. Precious Achiuwa will miss time, but you got your big and Cat. You still got Mitchell Robinson. You lose Hartenstein, but you got some pieces. You got some depth. You got some guys who can lock up. You got shooting now, some size. They could still make another move potentially if need be as well at the trade deadline. But I think New York is the second best team in the conference. So I'm going Boston 2, New York. Boston at 1, New York at 2. I think New York gets over 50 wins. Maybe they could be around 53 to 57, around that range, depending on how they hold up. Milwaukee is a sleeper. They're not being talked about a lot. Doc Rivers will be there for a full season. Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Damian Lillard are 2 of the 10 best players in the league. I think those 2 players, a bold prediction, Giannis and Lillard will be starters in the All-Star game. I don't know if that's really bold, but I think those 2 guys will have that good of a season. The chemistry will be better. I think Doc will be better. Chris Middleton is hurt. He'll miss some time. I don't really know what they're going to do there. I think they may need to make a move to get them over the hump, but you can't count out the Greek Freak, one of the best players in the world. You know he ain't going to back down from nobody. He's going to give 110%. And I think they're going to be right in that middle of the third range, that 2-3 range. I can see them getting over 50 wins this season. Maybe challenging New York for the 2 seed. That would be a nice semifinals matchup, Knicks, Bucks. And I think those would be the top 3 if they're the same. I think at 4, I have the Philadelphia 76ers getting back into the top 4. Embiid's not playing back-to-backs. Paul George can't stay healthy to save his life. But I think you got a guy in Tyrese Maxey who will also be starting in the All-Star game. Maxey, Lillard, Giannis, I'm going to say Embiid, and I'm going to say Tatum. Those are going to be the guys that start. That's my 5, just throwing it out there. I think Philadelphia, though, will be in that top 4. They got a lot of depth, getting McCain, draft them out of Duke, Nick Nurse. I think they're 4. 5, I have the Indiana Pacers. I think we get a Pacers Sixers first round matchup. Halliburton, Siakam's there for the full year. They got a good team. They got a really good team. They showed a lot last year. They will only get better. I'm going with the Pacers at 5. At 6, I'm going to put Orlando. It's a minor step back, but I think they're better suited to make a run at a playoff first round win. This would put them potentially against a Milwaukee, potentially against a Philly, a New York. I think Orlando's on the up and up. They got KCP. The Wagner boys are going to do work. Paolo Banchero's a real deal. He'll probably be an all-star again. I think they're going to be at 6, but I just think that just goes to show how much better, in my opinion, Philly and Indiana are than them, but I think they avoid the play-in. At 7, I'm going to go Miami. They missed the playoffs, but they get in the play-in, and we know a Pat Riley-led team, they can get in. I know what they do. They need to make a move. Bam is good. Jimmy's maybe starting to decline. I like Terry Rozier with them. Tyler Hero's healthy. Duncan Robinson still, but they're missing a piece. I think them not getting Dame is damning, but I think they are the 7 seed. At 8, I'm going to go the Chicago Bulls. I think Lonzo Ball's back. Levine, if he makes it through the whole season. If he doesn't, you still got the great emerging Kobe White. I think the Bulls are just a playing team at this point. They're not really more than that. They're just a 7 through 10. So I'm going to go Miami, Chicago at 8. At 9, I am thinking that I'm going to put in the... I don't know if Atlanta makes it, but I'm going to say they make it. I'm going to say Atlanta makes it at 10 again. They stay where they're at. And I'm going to say the Toronto Raptors. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the Raptors in. I think the Raptors get in over the Hawks. I don't think the Hawks make the playoffs. I know Trae Young is great. Does he make it through the whole season? I don't know. They've lost DeJounte Murray. I think Brooklyn takes a step back. Charlotte isn't any good, even though I like Melo Ball and Brandon Miller. The Wizards are just the Wizards. Matter of fact, speaking of the Wizards, I think we got some breaking news on them. If you don't know or new to the program, speaking of the Wizards, here you go.
Come on now, say it with me. Everybody beats the Wiz.
Yeah, I think the Wiz, they could win over 20 games, but they're still going to be right there. Detroit could win maybe around 20 games, but they're still going to suck. Those are your 2 worst teams. Charlotte's not far behind. Brooklyn's not far behind either. Those are your worst 4. Atlanta's not far behind, in my opinion, and I'm putting Toronto. The new backcourt, Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes just got paid. I think they have a good team. I like their coach, young coach. They got some young players, and I think they make the play-in. I think Toronto makes the play-in. So working from 10 to 1, Toronto at 10, Chicago at 9. No, I have extra space. So, yeah, I'm going to put Atlanta at 10, Toronto at 9. I didn't even have Cleveland. I'm sorry, Donovan Mitchell. I'm disrespecting you guys. Max Strus is hurt. Got Evan Mobley, got Jared Allen. I don't really know what they're going to do. Darius Garland's there, of course. So actually, I'm going to put Cleveland as the first play-in team. Cleveland will be 7. So they will be 7. Miami 8. Chicago 9. Atlanta bumps out. Toronto 10. So at 10, at 10, Toronto. RJ Barrett, Quickly, Scotty Barnes. I'm going with Toronto at 10. At 9, I'm going with Chicago. At 8, I'm going with Miami. At 7, I'm going with Cleveland. At 6, I'm going with the Magic. At 5, I'm going with the Indiana Pacers. At 4, I am going with the Philadelphia 76ers. At 3, Milwaukee Bucks. At 2, New York Knicks. And at 1, the Boston Celtics. So I think Boston and New York are on a collision course for the Eastern Conference Finals. That will be very nostalgic. I think Boston's can beat them in 6 or 7. It will be a hard-fought defensive series, but I think the Boston Celtics and the Knicks are on a collision course. Now, the only team I really think that could throw a wrench into it, I don't trust Philly because of injuries and their underachievement. Magic may be a piece away, a year ahead of schedule. Pacers may be another piece away. Cleveland, I think, takes a step back. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are the dark horse that you got to keep an eye out for. Dame and Giannis are 2 of the best at their position. If you get Chris Middleton back, you can have that big 3. You maybe make a move. You still got Brook Lopez, who's balling out, reinventing his game over the past few years. He can shoot the ball. and score inside, play good defense. I think Milwaukee's going to be a tough out still. No, people don't believe in Doc, but I think this year is a make or break year for them. I wouldn't be surprised. And I plan on Christmas. They probably feel slighted. Giannis feels slighted. He could be in the MVP conversation. Dame's going to probably average 25 a night, show why he's one of the best in the league. And I think they're going to be a dark horse. So don't be surprised if Milwaukee is somehow in the Eastern Conference Finals playing maybe the Celtics. But like I said, if we get a Knicks-Bucks semifinals, that could be good. Could go either way. Pacers, 76ers first round matchup would be great. Maybe having a situation where Cleveland has to play New York again. We saw what happened last year. We could have a situation where the Magic are playing the Bucks. So it's a lot of ways this could go with this. Like I said, I think the playing teams, the Heat, the Bulls, the Raptors, I don't have faith in any of them, but I think the Raptors do have a big improvement. Maybe go over their win totals as well. But what say you guys, everybody in the chat, NBA fans, Boston Celtics fans, do you guys go back to back? What's going to happen in the East? Is it stronger than it's been in years past? I think 1 through 6 is pretty strong. You got some teams that you want to kind of pay attention to, but Boston is just the standard right now. I think they will. Pretty chalk there, but I have a little bit of movement. But I want to hear from you in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the East. We'll get to the West in a second with another video, which will be coming out soon as the tip-off is hours away. Go ahead and subscribe. Slam dunk that subscribe button. Leave us a like. It helps us out tremendously in the algorithm world. Leave a comment. Leave your favorite emoji. Leave something in the comment section. And hit that bell to know when all of our content drops. We'll be doing an NBA preview live tomorrow night. And we'll have all the content for you. All the place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. The Flex Zone Podcast. The NBA season is back. And so are we here on the Flex Zone Podcast. We out of here, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Always appreciate the love. And I hope you have a great night. NBA is back. The sports are going on at the same time. And the Flex Zone is here each step of the way. But can anybody who's on the Celtics? We'll see. I'll see you in the next video.